For centuries, sailors have told stories of ghost ships, vessels found adrift, crew vanished, their decks silent and untouched. Legends like the Flying Dutchman and the Mary Celeste have haunted maritime history, each one carrying more questions than answers. But one of the strangest tales of all is the Octavius. For 13 years, it drifted through the oceans with no one at the helm. No signs of life, just a frozen crew, locked in time. Wind and current carried it across thousands of miles, through ice and storm, as if the ship itself refused to die. Some said they saw it, sails torn, no lights, moving silently through the fog. Others turned away in fear, whispering of a curse. What began as a simple trade voyage ended in one of the sea's most chilling mysteries. This is the story of the Octavius, the ghost ship that sailed with the dead. But the story didn't start that way. Back in the fall of 1761, the Octavius was just a brand new merchant ship getting ready for a trade trip to China. Tied up at the busy docks of London, the ship looked strong and spotless. On board was a seasoned captain, his crew, and his most precious passengers, his wife and young son. They were setting off with high hopes, chasing fortune through storms and distance, just like countless sailors before them. The first leg of the trip went as expected. They faced wild weather and calm days, sunshine and storms. But the crew held together. The Octavius made it around Africa's dangerous Cape of Good Hope, crossed the Indian Ocean, and eventually reached the busy port of Macau. The cargo was unloaded and reloaded. The crew took a well-earned rest. The captain likely felt proud and eager to return home. But this is where everything changed. The summer that year was warmer than usual, and the sea ice was reportedly thinner. The captain saw an opportunity. Instead of sailing the long way back around Africa, he made a bold choice. He would try to cut through the Northwest Passage, a dangerous, ice-filled route through the Canadian Arctic. No ship had ever made it through. But if he succeeded, he'd go down in history. The crew was excited. This wasn't just a job anymore. It was a chance to be part of something great. They stocked up on supplies, checked the ship from top to bottom, and turned north into uncharted territory. At first, everything went well. The northern summer brought long, golden days. The crew laughed, worked, and watched strange birds fly overhead. The ice seemed far off. The ship's log was full of positive notes: good weather, smooth sailing, and high spirits. The captain met with his crew every night to go over the plan. His curious son asked endless questions, soaking up the adventure. But the Arctic doesn't play fair. As the weeks passed, the temperature dropped. Ice began to form in the water. At first, it was just thin sheets. Then it thickened. Every day, it got harder to find a way forward. The sun started to vanish. Twilight turned into total darkness. When the ship first got stuck in the ice, the crew jumped into action. They chopped, shoveled, and poured hot water, trying to break free. And for a moment, it worked. But the deeper winter came fast. The ice returned, thicker, stronger. One day, a loud crack echoed through the ship. The Octavius was locked in place. The nightmare had begun. The crew huddled below deck, their world shrinking to cold rooms lit by flickering candles. The stoves burned, but the freezing air still crept in. Food ran low. Spirits dropped. The ship's log changed too. Supplies scarce, crew shivering, spirits low, water barrels frozen, pray for a thaw. Every day felt the same. The wind screamed outside. The ship groaned under the pressure, and the crew began to fall apart. Frostbite set in. People got sick. Coughs echoed in the darkness. Some men never left their bunks again. Others held on as long as they could. The captain's son caught a fever. His mother held him close, trying to keep him warm in a world that had gone cold. The captain, according to the story, wrote less and less as conditions worsened. His final entry, shaky and short, was said to read, November 11th, 1762. Ice all around. No break. God help us. It marked their position at 75 degrees north, 160 degrees west, near what we now call Point Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost point of the United States. At some point during that brutal winter, the last living soul aboard the Octavius died. But the Arctic didn't let them go. The cold preserved everything. The ship became a tomb, locked in ice, untouched by time, drifting alone through the years. No one knew what was left behind. Not yet. Storms came and went. Ice melted, then returned. Slowly, the Octavius began to drift, pushed by wind and current, with no one left to steer. For 13 years, she wandered. Sometimes, whalers reported seeing a strange ship in the fog, torn sails, a black wooden frame, and no sign of life on board. Some swore they saw lanterns glowing, but no one dared to approach. The stories spread. A ghost ship, cursed, still drifting through the Arctic fog. Then, in 1775, another vessel, the Herald, was preparing to head south before the sea froze again. One gray, foggy morning, a lookout spotted something in the distance and shouted, "Ship adrift!" The captain turned toward it. Through the mist, a strange ship appeared. Its sails were torn and hanging. The rigging looked like spiderwebs, and barely visible on the stern was a name, Octavius. The Herald sent 5 men over. Before boarding, the crew of the Herald called out to the silent ship. In English, then French, Dutch, German, and Spanish. Yet no answer came but the eerie creak of ice. They rode through the slush, climbed aboard, and stepped into silence. Below deck, they found what the ice had hidden for over a decade. The crew was still there, frozen in place. Some sat at their posts. Others lay in hammocks, faces pale and still. At the captain's desk, a pen rested in his hand, his logbook open, as if he'd been mid-sentence when death came. Nearby, his wife and young son were curled together in bed, wrapped in blankets, frozen in time. The boarding party didn't stay long. Shaken, they took only one thing: the captain's log. The pages were stuck together with ice. They rode back in silence, leaving the Octavius behind, lost in the fog once again. Back aboard the Herald, the crew carefully thawed the logbook. According to the story, only 2 entries were readable. The first confirmed that the Octavius had departed London in 1761. The second, dated November 1762, placed the ship near Point Barrow, thousands of miles from where it had begun. According to the dates, the ship had been drifting, completely abandoned, for over 13 years. It didn't seem possible. How had the bodies stayed frozen for so long? Why didn't storms destroy the ship? How had it stayed afloat with no one at the helm? But the explanation, if there is one, is chillingly simple. The Arctic preserves. The cold keeps bodies from rotting. No animals, no heat, no time. The ship froze solid, then slowly drifted whenever the ice let go, year after year. No captain needed, just water and wind. When the Herald returned home, the story spread fast. People told it in bars, around fireplaces, and in every port. But proof? That never showed up. No official records mention the Octavius. There's no whaling ship named Herald on file. And no one's ever found the logbook, the bodies, or the ship itself. So what do we have? A legend, a warning, a haunting reminder of what happens when people challenge the Arctic and its frozen secrets. Maybe that's why the story sticks with us, because it feels real. A ship stuck between worlds, a family holding on till the end, a crew frozen in place, still waiting for someone to come. So, what do you think? Did the Octavius really sail with a frozen crew for 13 years? Or is it just another ghost story lost to time? Let me know in the comments. And if you're fascinated by true stories of lost ships, extreme expeditions, and dramatic history, hit subscribe and join me next time for another journey into the world's most dangerous places.